This is Alexander Playtime Williams of PlayTimeCares.com. What's up, world? This is Alexander Playtime Williams of PlayTimeCares.com giving you full Raw recap. This one happened February 15, 2016. It was in Anaheim, California. Michael Cole, JBL, and Byron Saxton are your normal suspects or your commentators. They started off with a Raw recap of the contract signing of Brock Lesnar, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns for the triple threat match for Fastlane with Brock Lesnar's whoop both of them boys. Then Dean Ambrose wanted some payback on him, wanted to see if he could really stand toe to toe with him. So he asked Roman Reigns not to interfere. He went out, called out Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar whipped the boy until Roman Reigns came out and interfered, and Dean Ambrose was able to sneak in a low blow on him and leave the ring. So, of course, Dean Ambrose come out to the ring. And he calls out Brock Lesnar to fight again because he wasn't satisfied with only being able to sneak in a low blow. So, of course, Brock Lesnar didn't come out. Stephanie McMahon comes out and tells him that he not only will he not fight Brock Lesnar right now, that she's putting him in a fatal five-way to defend his Intercontinental Championship tonight. Matter of fact, the match is starting right now. And it has a stipulation that if Roman Reigns come out and interfere by any means, even helping him, then he's gonna have to he's gonna get disqualified from competing at Fastlane. Okay, cool. So your first match is actually going to be Kevin Owens versus Stardust versus Tyler Breeze versus Dolph Ziggler versus the Intercontinental Champion Dean Ambrose for the Intercontinental Championship. And it was it seemed at first that it was going to be like a separated match. Kevin Owens going after Dean Ambrose. No, Kevin Owens going off after Dolph Ziggler. Dean Ambrose fight with Tyler Breeze and Stardust. But, after they finish those little side feuds, they start fighting all together. Everybody getting huge moves on each other. Good momentum for each person. Tyler Breeze looked good. Even Stardust looked good at times. But long story short, Kevin Owens ended up taking advantage of a couple of put-down sessions, more specifically the zigzag. Tyler Breeze knocked him out. Kevin Owens knocked Tyler Breeze out, put him in a pop-up powerbomb, boom, 1, 2, 3, Kevin Owens, your new Intercontinental Champion. So Dean Ambrose is interviewed after that, and they ask him, since you don't have the title, what's up? He's like, look, somebody once said that if they take something out your hands, that open your hands up to take something else. Don't quote me there. That's a paraphrase. Yeah, Dean Ambrose didn't even know who said it. But he said that pretty much now that he has open hands, he doesn't have that title. He's gonna reach after the Triple H's title. So he's gonna beat the people at Fastlane, and he's gonna be the person to meet Triple H at WrestleMania. Okay, kind of saw that one coming because the writers have been horrible. The only match that they've made worth anything is actually the main title, the heavyweight title. So it didn't make sense. And if you check my older broadcasts, I'm always telling y'all it just doesn't make sense. You have the Intercontinental belt not really meaning nothing. The tag team title not really meaning nothing. None of the titles mean anything. And having that belt in the main feud and nobody going after it really didn't make sense. So it was good that they took the belt from Dean Ambrose, but it was bad that they waited 6 days before for the Fast Lane pay-per-view. That was poor writing. That should have been happened. So the next thing they did, of course, was interview the new Intercontinental Champion Kevin Owens, and of course he's happy about it. He said, "Hey, I told you this is my belt," but Dolph Ziggler comes up and like, "Look, I've been making a habit of beating you the last couple of weeks. I should be the first person to get a shot at that title. I should get a shot at it at Fastlane." Kevin Owens was like, "Nope," walked off. Hey, that's it. So, the New Day comes to the ring, and they show the Raw recap of of when the New Day met up with Edge and Christian, and Xavier Woods did the little competition thing with the trombone, and Edge pulled out the kazoo, and then Biggie ended up biting on the kazoo and throwing it down. Hilarious bit. Then the New Day, they pretty much called out Mark Henry and said he was a big booty hole for actually abandoning them during that 8-way tag match that they had last week. Of course, Mark Henry is gonna come out. So your second match is going to be Mark Henry versus Big E. So Mark Henry, he controlled the match until the numbers game, played a part. Then Big E Langston picked him up for the big finisher, and Mark Henry got out of it, but I think he may have injured his leg because when he got down, he immediately tumbled and he didn't get back up. Big E just jumped on top of him. He got the pin victory, 1, 2, 3. So Big E won that one. The match was a 2 out of 5. I would say, just an average match. And the first match was a 3 out of 5. Average match with some highlight moments in it, but a match that you was expecting, just average with some good highlights. So this one was just average. Hopefully Mark Henry is all right. It looked like his knee might have buckled. He was in the ring holding his ribs, though, so I'm not exactly sure. So, Byron Saxton is interviewing Brie Bella. Brie Bella comes down. They ask her, hey, first let's start off because first they started off showing, Daniel Bryan, retiring. Of course, Brie Bella's Daniel Bryan's wife. They showed his retirement speech from last Raw. Then they asked her, he's like, hey, let's start off. What's up with Daniel Bryan? How is his health? And Charlotte comes down with Ric Flair, and she interrupts, and Charlotte pretty much telling her she need to forfeit the match because she need to go home, concentrate on her husband, making sure he healthy, concentrate on her twin sister because she injured, nurse her back. It's no shame in just going ahead and forfeiting the match. Brie was like, look, you know what? You're not gonna play these mind games. I'm gonna see you at Fastlane. You're like, well, I'm just I just was trying to give you some advice, I don't take it, don't take it so personal. And Brie like, hey, I hate to see the type of champ that you've become. And then Charles was like, hey, I hate to see those, those what's he call it, like vegan ghost face babies that you and Daniel Bryan gonna make. So of course Brie attacked her, and Charlotte goes out the ring, and that's it. So then they did a Raw recap of the Wyatt family attacking Kane from 3 weeks ago. Bad writing. They shouldn't have shown that. I mean, they shouldn't have shown that at all because now I already have an idea of what's going to happen during the rest of this thing. Okay, so the third match is The Miz versus AJ Styles. Of course, they did a SmackDown recap of Y2J attacking AJ Styles when they had a tag match against the Social Outcasts. Then later in SmackDown, Y2J getting the victory over AJ Styles in their match. Then, The Miz, he's upset because he keeps getting disrespected. He got beat up by The Miz and AJ Styles a week ago. So, by Y2J and AJ Styles a week ago. He attacks AJ before the match even started. Got back and forth action, and it actually was it was pretty decent. But it's what you expected. Um, I didn't expect AJ Styles to get caught in the skull crushing finale, but he kicked out of that, and then he reverses a move that the Miz did, put him in a calf crusher. Miz taps out. Y2J grabs the mic and like, hey, you know what? AJ Styles cut him off like, I already know what you're gonna say. Look, you want to have a best 2 out of 3, so you want another match. I get you. It's eating away at you that I beat you that first time. You want to beat me twice in a row? Let's just go ahead and do it for Fastlane. Y2J look at him like, huh? Like, you got some nerve. He said, well, I don't know. I'll let you know on SmackDown. Okay, that match was a 2 out of 5. Pretty much average match. You knew what was going to happen. So, for Black History Month, they threw out a quote from Nelson Mandela. Then the Dudley Boys came to the ring. And, the 3Ds called out the Usos. Then it was like, wait a minute, they're not going to show up. Because then they showed the Raw recap last week where they attacked the Usos and they put them both through tables. Boom, boom. Then it was like, y'all trying to make us into like some nostalgia act and all this type of stuff. No, we real deal. We came here to add to our legacy. No more tables. The tables are gone forever. Of course, everybody booing about that. Fourth match was Summer Rae versus Paige. Actually, was a decent match. Ended up being an average match, but it was a decent match. Summer Rae actually looked pretty decent, and Summer Rae actually ended up winning the match. She, I'm actually was shocked about that. Summer Rae looked decent, and she actually won the match, but it was still an average match. So, next segment was Paul Heyman coming to the ring, and then he pretty much recaps the scenario for Fastlane and how that's the segue to WrestleMania, and then he calls out Roman Reigns and say, "Hey, I wanted to tell you to your face that you can't you have to beat everybody. You know, I don't think you can beat I don't think you can beat my client Brock Lesnar, and I don't think you're willing to beat your friend Dean Ambrose." Of course, Roman Reigns laughed at him, say, "Hey, that's some good mind games, but you ain't got to worry about all that. Hey, I'm going for the title. I've beat Dean Ambrose before, and I've actually whooped on your boy before. I've never beat him, but I have whooped on him in WrestleMania." And then the Dudley Boys from out of nowhere just attacked Roman Reigns, and they was whooping him until Dean Ambrose came down and saved him, and Dudley Boys got out of the ring. But while they're celebrating, cool thing is that Dean Ambrose tried to put Roman Reigns in the dirty deeds. That was a pretty good. I wasn't expecting that so soon. And Roman Reigns laughed at him and said, "Hey, you're gonna be at the quick. You got to be quicker than that if you're trying to make it to WrestleMania." So okay, cool. They announced that they have an inaugural Vincent J. McMahon Legacy of Excellence Award that they're gonna award next week. First time they're going to award that. And of course, that's named after Vince's Kennedy McMahon, the current owner of WWE. That's named after his father, the person that owned the WWF. Um, three W's and an F, not the WWF, which the World Wildlife Federation went after them and had them to change it to the WWE. Okay, so then you had a Raw recap from 2 weeks ago when the Wyatt family jumped the Big Show. Once again, they already announced early in the program that the Big Show had a match against the Wyatt family tonight. Then the first thing you show is Kane getting jumped by the Wyatt family. Then the next thing you show, it was 3 weeks ago. It was 2 weeks ago. The Big Show gets jumped by the Wyatt family. I wonder what's going to happen tonight. Bad writing, bro. Bad writing. Okay, so your fifth match was Zack Ryder versus Heath Slater. And, of course, he's with the rest of the social outcasts. Number games too much for Heath Slater. I mean, for Zack Ryder. Heath Slater got a modified DDT on him and ended that match. That's about a 2 out of 5. It was average. R-Truth was out entertaining his wife. And Waiter shows up. And who is the waiter? Of course, it's Goldust. And he's like, "Look, man, you don't even work here. Just R-Truth like, hey, go ahead and go, man. I'm trying to entertain my woman." And Goldust like, "Look, I do work here, and we got a bottle of champagne for you lovebirds on the house." So he tried to open it, and he got the champagne in between his legs, trying to yank off the cork. And R-Truth like, "Hey, man, don't point that towards my face." So he turned it towards his wife, and the cork pops out, and of course, all the champagne wastes on her. So, and then he runs out. Sixth match is actually the Lucha Dragons with Neville versus the League of Nations with King Barrett actually roaming the ringside. I know what you're expecting. I know what you're thinking. They've done this. Yes, it's poor writing. And of course, the League of Nations is going to win. You're correct. But they actually made this one an entertaining match. Once again, it showcased the need for a cruiserweight division because the League of Nations is way too big for Neville and the Lucha Dragons. But they did a lot of high risk stuff, and it just was an entertaining match. People was chanting, "This is awesome" and stuff like that. But number games plus the fact that the League of Nations is so much bigger. Del Rio jumped from the top rope to the middle of the ring to stomp on Kalisto chest and no Sin Cara chest, and that was it. So 3 out of 5 in the match. So then they did a WWE celebrates Black History Month, and they did a montage for Booker T. So Hall of Famer Booker T. It was nice. So they reflected back and said, "Hey, this was on the WWE.com website, and here go Becky Lynch. She's talking to Tamina and Naomi, and it's like, hey, we just wanted to make sure you showed up you was here safe and sound for the match tonight, Becky." Becky's like, "Hey, let's just save all this stuff for the ring." So Naomi was like, "You're right." She turned around, Tamina super kicks Becky in the face. Okay, cool. Del Rio is interviewed about his Fastlane match with Kalisto, and of course Del Rio's like, "Look, I just showed that they're nothing to me. They're little mosquitoes. That's why I just challenged them for a 2 out of 3 match. So 2 out of 3 falls. So hopefully he accepted for Fastlane. Okay, cool. Different match. It's really sad that the WWE 6 days before the pay-per-view realized that they didn't concentrate on any match. Now they just putting all these matches together. They throwing matches together at the end. Would not surprise me if the Wyatt family end up fighting. Well, never mind. Let me go ahead and continue. Then I'll say it. The 7th match is, of course, Becky Lynch versus Naomi. And Becky Lynch starts off strong. As soon as the bell rings, she goes attacking Naomi. It really didn't. She really didn't give up that at all. So she ended up putting the disarm on Naomi, and Naomi tapped. And then Tamina and Naomi jumped Becky Lynch until Sasha Banks came out. Match was a 2 out of 5. I'm so sick of them making Tamina and Naomi look like they're weaklings, and they're the strongest out of all the divas. Natasha, Naomi, Tamina are your strongest wrestlers, and probably the strongest divas for sure. And Charlotte is in that bunch too. I don't know what's wrong with these writers. I do know what's wrong, but I won't say it. So then they did a Raw recap of the Wise jumping Ryback. So you went 3 weeks back, Kane. 2 weeks back, Big Show. 1 week back, Ryback. And the Big Show has a match with the Wyatt family in a couple of minutes. I wonder what's going to happen. Poor writing. The Wyatt family comes out and pretty much says that everybody needs to follow them, otherwise they're gonna get destroyed. They are the lick, and they would destroy the world. And they say if people won't bow down to them, pretty much they're gonna force them to bow down. So of course the Big Show comes out. It's the 8th match. It's the Big Show versus Braun Strowman. Everybody was waiting to see this match happen, but of course it won't happen. They fight each other, boom, 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 back and forth, back and forth. And then once the Big Show looked like he had the upper hand, the Wyatt family jumps him. Wait a minute, they've shown the Wyatt family jumping all of these people for the last 3 weeks. Who comes out? Ryback. Of course. Oh my goodness. Well, hey, Ryback. Oh, but it's still 2 against 4. So they get Ryback and Big Show getting beat up. I wonder where Kane is. Kane comes from the bottom of the ring and he grabs 2 people and throw one over the thing, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So you have Kane, Ryback, and the Big Show standing in the ring against the Wyatt family. They kind of hinted to that all night. I mean, that's poor writing. So it would not surprise me if they actually end up having Kane, Big Show, Ryback versus the Wyatt family for Fastlane, since they're throwing together matches. That match was about a 2 out of 5. I mean, they didn't have time for it to develop to be a great match. They actually did look pretty good, but they didn't allow the match to develop at all. So, hey, follow me, Playtime Cares on everything. I even got on Snapchat to see what the heck that's about. If you want me on something, I just got on Tumblr to see what it was about. You want me to join something, let me know. I do it. Keep giving me these thumbs up, the thumbs down. Thank you for all the views. Hey, playtimecares.com. Join on that. Subscribe on that. When I update this thing, you can automatically get this sent to you. All that type of good stuff. Thank you for watching. Playtime out.